Chapter 36.
Father, Draco acknowledged with a slight nod. Gently, he placed a hand on Ron's arm, preventing him from lashing out with a flurry of curses over the fact that Father had his sister in his sights. "Come to give me your congratulations?" Father exhaled incredulously, and Draco's smile only widened with feigned innocence. "I've been honored," Draco declared in a composed manner, given an award for outstanding services to the school. Father stared at him, bewildered by this revelation, before dismissing Draco's words with visible skepticism. "What is this filth doing here?" His eyes landed on Dobby, indicating the source of his disdain. "Dobby," Draco clarified, "has been hired by Hogwarts." "Hired," Father repeated, his upper lip twisting in distaste. "This institution is truly on a downward spiral, but this surpasses everything." It's no surprise Dumbledore managed to sneak back in with no resistance after being ousted. This will not go unchallenged for long. His eyes swept them disdainfully before fixating on Draco. "What is all over you? Blood." "Your father misses nothing," Ron murmured into Draco's ear, and Draco had to stifle a laugh, riding the euphoric high since witnessing Potter retrieve the sword from the basilisk's mouth. Father's wrath seemed insignificant compared to Potter's triumph. "Is that your blood?" Father's fury seemed momentarily halted. Draco shrugged, maintaining his composure. "Why else would I be on the ground?" "Do something, creature," Father hissed, dragging Draco down the hallway, out of sight of the others, frantically searching for any injuries, before Draco could confess he was jesting. "Where are you hurt?" "Just kidding, Father, I'm perfectly fine." "None of it's mine," Draco reassured with a shaky voice, meeting Father's gaze, which had once been something Draco revered above all else. "We could change that," Father replied with icy detachment, lifting his cane. Draco ducked and drew his wand. They stared each other down until Father abruptly turned away. "Draco, what happened?" Ron pressed. "Are you okay?" Draco shrugged it off. "Let's go, Dobby. You might want to witness this." Leading Ron and Dobby inside, they watched as Father confronted Dumbledore, infuriated by his return. "Well, Lucius," said Dumbledore, wearing a serene smile, "I've been inundated with correspondence from the other 11 governors today. It was quite overwhelming, to be honest. With the news of Xenophilius Lovegood's daughter, they thought me the best fit to return. Interestingly, some shared tales of being threatened by you to remove me." Draco still found Dumbledore more intimidating than he'd admitted to Riddle. He'd never seen Father so subdued, except before Voldemort. "So," Father sneered, "have the attacks ceased? Who's responsible?" "We've caught the culprit," Dumbledore replied serenely. "Who then?" demanded Father. "The very same as last time," Dumbledore explained. "But perhaps your son can enlighten you." "My son," Father retorted, rage palpable, "is not the heir of Slytherin, despite the malicious gossip that has made his life unbearable. Why is he covered in blood?" It was a transparent attempt to shift blame. Potter, noticing them enter with Dobby in tow, blinked at the unusual sight. "What's he doing here?" Potter's fierce stare met Father's as he stood, exuding the aura of a vengeful force. "Potter," Father acknowledged icily, "we meet again." His eyes froze upon the blood-stained sword in Potter's hand. "The sword of Gryffindor," Potter stated, gripping it assuredly. "Familiar? Maybe not as grand as the basilisk of Slytherin, but effective." "Lucius," Dumbledore interjected, "I'm curious. Where did you first cross paths with Mr. Potter?" "Borgin and Burke's," Potter replied, his grin grim, holding up the ruined diary, revealing the char. Then he offered it to Father, and Draco held his breath. "Take your diary back if you wish, Mr. Malfoy. It's useless now." Father's expression mirrored his look from Azkaban, caught amidst hostile elements within that office. Dumbledore, Potter, a Weasley, a discarded house elf, and his own son. As Father's gaze lingered on Draco, a single question hung unasked. "Lucius," Dumbledore resumed calmly, "if you choose not to reclaim the diary, I gather your business here is concluded. As ever, a pleasure to see you." Ignoring Draco, Father's eyes landed on Dobby. "You should realize, Headmaster," Father said coldly, "that you harbor unlawful entities. This being," he stated with disgust, "was dismissed for placing my son at risk with dark magic, and now being here jeopardizes all students similarly. But from you, such disgrace is expected." Ron countered coldly, "We have our own views on what truly dishonors Hogwarts, Mr. Malfoy." With disdain, Father whispered to Dobby, "I should never have freed you. Should have ended it there and buried you namelessly." Dobby rose with defiance, shouting, "Lucius Malfoy knows nothing about punishment." Thankfully for Father, his departure from Hogwarts was swift, sparing himself from witnessing the feast that followed, orchestrated by Dobby. Most had donned pajamas, and after freshening up, Draco chose not to dress fully, slipping on his cashmere slippers, silk pajamas in Slytherin green, topped by a cashmere sweater Mother gifted. Such a sight would have surely prompted instant disownment from Father. Draco felt relieved at his informal attire, seeing Potter and Ron enter the Great Hall in bright red pajamas. He paused at the threshold, eyeing Potter, merging into a congratulatory crowd, until he heard a voice murmuring his name. "Draco? Oh, Draco, you made it." Pansy called out from the Slytherin table, her hair charmingly tousled, contrasting the jade-green ribbons of her nightgown. Her smile hinted that his brush with danger had earned her forgiveness. "Greetings, Slytherins." Draco addressed the table with grandeur, choosing between boasting about his award or the 200 points he claimed for Slytherin. The glimpse of the towering Gryffindor cup, however, deterred him from mentioning points. "Despite rampant rumors, I am not the heir of Slytherin," Draco proclaimed, and played a crucial role in uncovering the true culprit. "Rest assured, you've been shielded from the malevolent force endangering many." "Purebloods, Draco, we faced no danger," Blaise interjected, but Draco proceeded undeterred. "I'll be accepting apologies from those who doubted me responsible for the heinous acts. I understand the confusion, given my exceptional magical prowess, but know that any endeavor of mine involving dark magic at Hogwarts would be executed with precise intent." "Have I made myself clear, children?" "Oh, just hush," Blaise interrupted, pulling him into a warm embrace between himself and Theo, as the others joined in with a friendly pat on Draco's shoulders. "We're quite relieved you're alive and kicking, you dramatic fool. Now keep quiet and enjoy some pie." Draco couldn't recall a time he'd felt more content as he sliced into his mini meat pie, a nostalgic delight with mint reminiscent of the manor, and discovered a small, enchanted note inside. "Draco Malfoy must enjoy and finish this entire pie. A friend from the kitchens." Draco chuckled softly at the note and tucked it into his pocket. Just then, commotion erupted from the Gryffindor and Ravenclaw tables, and from the marble stairs came two slender, long-haired figures, one tall and svelte, and the other with a wild, bushy mane. "Hermione!" Draco exclaimed, accidentally nudging Longbottom into Parvati Patil's lap in his rush to reach her. She was equally boisterous and gleeful, squealing, "You figured it out. You solved it." She echoed her excitement to Ron and Potter as they joined her, hugging them in turn. The turquoise charm bracelet dangling from her wrist caught Draco's eye, momentarily unsettling him, but ultimately, Draco realized even he could make a mistake with a tracking charm. "I'm sorry," Draco attempted, and Hermione frowned, giving him a playful shove. "The apology I expect," she declared excitedly, "is from Ron and Harry, for thinking you were the heir all along. Honestly, will you concede that I was right now, boys?" Ron appeared a bit green around the edges and mumbled something that might loosely be interpreted as an apology, while Potter simply looked apprehensive. "Wait, does this mean I've got to don a Slytherin uniform again?" Oh, don't stress, Potter. No formal wager was made. Draco quipped slyly, eager for Potter to meet his gaze. Though you did pull off a good Slytherin look. Some things never change, Hermione noted contentedly to Ron, swinging an arm over Draco and Ron's shoulders. Come on, gentlemen.
I'm starving, kropka.
Draco hesitated. I should return to my own table. No one at Gryffindor wants my company. That's rubbish, she countered fiercely. You saved the school, Draco. Honestly, my main achievement was preventing Ron from getting himself killed by fawning over the basilisk. Draco shrugged, enjoying the elbow jab for his cheek, but he startled when a hand brushed his, if just fleetingly. You were incredibly brave, Potter praised. Draco aimed to craft a witty retort but ended up only gazing at Potter until Ron nudged him away. Draco tugged Hermione's arm to share a final thought. I ought to sit with the Slytherins, he expressed, but I hope we can visit again come summer, and I'm honestly indifferent to my father's opinions on the matter. Oh, Draco, she said, embracing him once more, tears of joy in her eyes. We'll all head to watch Arsenal at Highbury. Draco's heart soared, remaining cheerful even after finishing Dobby's pie and after McGonagall declared exams were cancelled as a treat. The joy peaked when around 3:30, Hagrid burst through, looking unharmed, with a scruffy yet recognizable spiky stuffed dragon under his arm. Dumbledore announced that Lockhart had abruptly left a notice he was urgently called away to Zanzibar, resigning from his post forthwith. Apparently, he'd fled in haste rather than face exposure in Hogwarts' time of need. This spurred Draco to reminisce about the Blue Loop. He remembered Lockhart losing his memory and winding up in St. Mungo's previously, yet now fleeing without harm, or at least as unscathed as Lockhart could ever be. Had Draco altered Gilderoy Lockhart's destiny? If so, he couldn't begrudge the flamboyant escapists' freedom, appreciating their shared, unusual admiration for Severus Snape. Despite Severus at the high table lacking awareness of Lockhart's affections, knowing someone could love Severus filled Draco with some gratitude for sparing a mind capable of such emotion. Regardless, Lockhart and his unrequited love had exited the scene, to Hogwarts' collective delight. Even Hermione stood up to cheer, though Draco could still detect a little pout from afar as she sat. Missing from the feast was Luna Lovegood, casting a small shadow over the event. But she surfaced the following day at the Slytherin dungeon entrance, seeking her bewildered cousin. The peak of happiness came when Draco entered Severus's quarters and found he was permitted entry as Severus's godson. A letter from Mother announced father had been dismissed from his position as school governor. Draco reveled in the news alongside Dobby and the Gryffindors, agreeing that father had it coming after threatening the board's families. He kept to himself his feeling that using the Imperious curse might have been a better gamble for father. He amused Hermione with complaints about her missing out on a special award like the boys did, given how her research had cracked the mystery wide open. She remained philosophical. Oh, it's splendid for Ron and Harry to have an extra accolade, she said, smug. It might comfort them considering the number of OWLs I'll outscore them in. Draco frowned.
What about me?
I received an award, and I'm chasing after as many OWLs. Hermione grinned. Not as many as I will. I'm enrolling in every elective next year. Draco chose not to share the train compartment with Potter, Hermione, and their abundance of Weasleys, where filibuster fireworks and obnoxious Gryffindor camaraderie prevailed. Instead, he headed to the train's back, enjoying Luna Lovegood's company, who sat and delighted her newfound cousin with tales of her brief, yet impactful connection with her former soulmate, Tom Riddle. Once the Gryffindors caught up with Draco while disembarking the Hogwarts Express, he walked beside Hermione to the barrier. She linked arms with him, offering a bit of parchment which he gladly accepted until she revealed it was from Potter. It's a number for you, she explained. He says since you've spent a week with me and my parents, you ought to know how to use a telephone. He'd like us all to ring him, despising his limited conversations with his dreadful relatives. Draco, you should consider it. Draco broke from Hermione and approached Potter. Harry Potter, Draco began sternly, as Ron held a matching slip behind a smirk. What's this expecting me to call you on a muggle telephone? Just because you've become the famed basilisk slayer doesn't mean a Malfoy stoops. It's not like you ever send me letters, Potter interjected, almost whining. Hermione caught Ron's eye and they passed through the barrier, leaving him. Draco faced this surprisingly clingy version of Potter.
Potter, Draco said.
What am I hearing? Is it possibly the savior of our wizarding realm pleading for my attention? Potter's cheeks turned a vivid red. Draco knew he'd miss. Don't flatter yourself. It's just beneficial for the muggles I'm with to see some interaction with you over summer. You're rather unsettling to them. As they should be, Draco replied, proudly puffing his chest. Potter kept watching, even as Draco moved their trolleys through the barrier. Potter, we're causing a jam. Even heroics can only garner so much patience before a herd of first-year Hufflepuffs stampede through. Potter pulled him aside, face still warmly flushed, and Draco savored his focused green eyes once more. You'll write to me this time, won't you? Potter insisted. I worry about you with your father. I won't let go until you promise. Agreed. Draco conceded, knowing he shouldn't, but did as it made his heart lighter. No need for more groveling, chosen one. It's rather pathetic. Now let's move on. I think there's a group of muggles ready for us to spook, Draco said with a mischievous grin. Looking forward to it, Harry replied enthusiastically. With a burst of energy, both Draco Malfoy and Harry Potter dashed through the barrier, emerging from Platform 9 and marched forth together.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this chapter, please hit the subscribe button and ring the bell to stay updated with more audiobooks. Happy listening!